last we left off, you were all in some precarious situations. Well, except for Morthos and Toban, they were doing fine. Morthos and Toban were across the city, having just spoken to Jessamine, the merchant prince of assassins within the city, and she charged you to save. Oh crap! What's her name? I gotta hold on. Let me put my notes up. Crap.
The house next door to her.
Yeah, right.
My neighbor's name.
That's pretty funny.
Like a good neighbor, stay over there.
All right, the other merchant prince.
I didn't write down the
That's
name.
funny, man.
Wait, are you talking about Xanthe?
Xanthe, thank you.
Nice.
All right, so Xanthe, the merchant prince of jewels, and if you were to do that, if you were to combine her forces with yours and Wakanga's, that Jessamine would consider you guys a likely choice for her to join and aid you in your quest. She did inform you, though, that the Red Roads and the Zentan had already been to see her, and that she was kind of weighing her options. So we know that time is kind of the essence because of that. The rest of the party, led by Bishop, decided to immediately leave as soon as you walked close to the house and couldn't see them anymore. And you're not sure where any of them went. They just kind of were gone. Nobody told you anything. Nobody said anything. Toban doesn't know anything. It's okay. And made their way through the streets disguised as Choltans. You all look like Choltans, by the way, except for Whiskey and Boo, or Ninsky. Well, Boo doesn't do it. And had a couple of brawls in the streets, or at least one brawl. Pushed some people into the harbor, but you made it. And you quickly found yourself captured by the guards that were within the building of the guardhouse across from the lighthouse. Yeah, so that's it. So we're going to start with Morthos and Toban. So it is still raining quite hard. You exit Jessamine's house. You can see it's probably around like noon, 1 o'clock, something like that. Or it's actually, I think it's a little bit later than that because you guys stayed at Wakanga's for like an hour. So it's about 2 o'clock. Very cloudy though, and the rain is just kind of coming down hard still, and thunder crashing and things like that. So it's difficult to see. You take a few quick looks around, and you don't immediately notice any of your friends. And Toban's just kind of standing next to you, like, all right, what's next?
Can he make a perception check to see my cloth tied up?
If you want to, go for it. Do you want to look around and see where they are, or are you just moving on?
Negative. I'm kind of pressed to find this Xanthe, or I'll have another group other than the Red Roads and the other things after me. So I'm kind of pressed for. I will roll.
You can go and look around. Yeah, roll a perception check. Yeah.
What is it? Less.
Did you get fatter? What is it?
Just what I was going to say to him because he failed to check him.
You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. They're just all gone.
Do I see Xanthe's house?
Yeah, Xanthe's house was the one that had some fire damage, and you could see smoke kind of coming out of the door a little bit. There's still a little bit of smoke still creeping out.
Well, I'll rush over there.
Toban follows you.
I'm looking in. Do I see anything?
Okay, so as you enter the building, you can see that there's multiple items of furniture smashed. There's random parts of the house that are burned. It doesn't look like the house was on fire. It looks like fire was used to destroy the house. And you don't notice anything overtly, but you can see there were some places, like definitely something has happened here. You're used to kind of looking at the aftermath of fights and brawls and things like that. You notice something amiss. So if you'd like to, you could roll an investigation check to see if you can figure out more.
Hopefully I roll well. For some reason I'm stuck with 8s tonight. Where's investigation?
Intelligence, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not very good.
So
I got 10.
10? Okay. So Toban's kind of standing, behind you. He's not really like, this isn't his. He's good at fighting, He's like, what do you see, Bishop? Or not Bishop, sorry, Morthos. What do you see, Morthos? It's been a while, guys. It's been like a month. Right,
I think that helped me more shaving cream.
That's right. More, so Tavon remembers.
Oh no.
So he's kind of looking around your shoulder. He still has the helmet in his hand, but he looks like a Cholton still. Did he ever find out?
I told him, yes.
You told him, okay, so he knows, but he still has the helmet in his hand. You notice that you can see specifically drag marks that are leading towards the back of the building.
Okay, I follow him.
Okay, so
before I go, I want to because Wakanga had a secret compartment in his house. I want to look for like secret, like a safe room or anything like that. So
okay.
I need to roll.
Roll
Really high?
roll investigation.
Really high.
Or roll perception first. Well, either way. Perception, though, is probably a little bit better for you.
Ain't even
7. I rolled a 3.
Here, and we'll say, though, Tavon is helping you in this, so you get advantage, because that would be the help action.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
That's better.
Yes. So that's a 16.
Okay. So,
Just enough.
as you're kind of looking around, you're following the drag marks, but out of, Tavon kind of is he, pulls on your arm a little bit. He's like, do you see the ash is moving towards that wall? And you can see there's some ash that is. It's kind of fluttering around the base of that wall, which is not normal.
We go to that wall.
All right, so you go up to it.
I start hollering, Zanti! Zanti!
You bang on it.
Yeah. And
You can hear a hollow noise.
And we holler, Wakanga has sent us to aid you. Any response? Anything right? Nothing?
Nothing.
So I guess I'm filling around to see if I can open this
You
thing.
roll investigation check. It's another 8. That's funny.
I'm gonna start with
You
8.
don't seem to notice any obvious way of opening a door. If you find Xanthi, maybe she'll be open to helping you.
I'm gonna take my rapier and stick a hole in it.
Okay. All right. So roll. Which rapier? The new one you got?
No, not the new one.
Okay. Which rapier are you using?
Actually, can I use my dagger and kind of
Go for it.
see if I can stab her?
All right. So and you can see it appears that it's made of wood.
Right.
So you would think that would work. Go ahead. Roll for it. So that's an attack. You rolled a 1. All right. So as you go to stab, actually, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna use the fumble chart just for.
Oh, God.
All right. Let's see.
What is this?
It's just damn, that's real mahogany.
Cause what it sounded hollow.
Yeah.
I think it was on my rules list. Let me see.
I'm like, Tavon, can you open this up for me?
As you stab yourself on the.
I need another percentile die. Does anybody have one?
I went from worse
To worse.
to worse.
I will just leave. Find out where we're at. 'Cause he can.
So you're kind of lining up, and
Oh, God.
you're like, yeah, this is wood. But you just stab yourself right in the back of the hand, which does not seem normal for you. But roll 1d4 damage.
And
No sneak attack, because there's no allies.
he has to spend his
2 damage. We'll just say just a flat 2 because you were just trying to see if it would open. But even through, so it hits your hand and goes through your hand and hits the wall and just stops. It doesn't keep going. So it leaves a small indentation in the wood, but you can feel something harder beneath it.
You can freaking stab your bones, but you can't stab wood.
Just through here, the meat. You
Well, I
know?
have a burglar's pack. Can I use my thief tools?
We should distribute the door for stabbing.
You haven't found any obvious mechanism to open it.
Jeez. Come on. Do you have any way of
Setting
opening
on
this?
fire.
What did you do with my dice?
One moment. All right, so
You're
Tavon
rolling.
puts his helmet back on and kind of slams it on.
all
Battering ram style.
He kind of slams it on his head, and you can see he closes the visor, but it's just the same Chilton face. But you hear a snick, and then he pulls a warhammer out of nothing on his back because he's Chilton, and he just swings as hard as he can at the door twice.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
And it hits it soundly, but you hear very obviously a metallic ring when, like metal on metal, not metal on wood or metal on stone, when he hits that door. And you can see dust kind of slightly fall from where the outlines of the door might be. Like the wood facade has been broken a little bit. It still doesn't open.
Didn't know you're coming.
Damn right.
Yeah. You got the cross closed bit.
Anything worth busting this door down is worth
So
crossing.
Taban kind of looks to you though, and he's like, "Do you think she's down here?"
I believe she is.
And you can see the drag marks though; they lead in a different direction, not towards the door, but towards like it goes towards like a back room,
I think the drag marks are a deception.
a ruse.
Yes.
Well, we should figure out how to get in this door. All right, and we'll pause there while you think about it, and we'll move on to the next group. All right.
Play the funeral song.
Yeah, with the door is literally the god of death. Just, oh hi, what's going on in here? And that's all she.
All right, so Group B.
You had one kiss.
All right, so to kind of set the scene a little bit, you find yourselves.
Boned. Bound.
Okay, well, actually, we'll go around in a circle, and we'll start with Pam, and we'll move this way. All right, so you find yourself in the exact same situation we left off before. You are in the doorway, basically, going into this room. There's a large wooden door, about this thick, it's pushed off to the side. You can kind of see through the legs of people as they lead you in that there's other guards within the room sitting at tables.
Okay.
Some of them begin to rise just to kind of see what's going on. None of them look, like they're stressed out or anything. Ben, something is different for you. You have no memories of why this would be, but the silk which you had wrapped the stick that you hated, that made you feel crappy to touch, the silk is wrapped around your arms. And you also can feel kind of digging into your back, a foreign object. But it's not like easily accessible because you have like a pack on, but there's something there. You can see into the room, kind of the same thing, but you can see a little bit higher because you're not super short, but you're kind of limited because you're still outside of the building. There's 2 people behind you, 3 of them, including Minsk. But you can see into the room. You can see there's other people. It's a warm room. It doesn't look particularly foreboding, but you can see that there's a second story as well. You have a lot of memories of what happened before.
I remember.
You find yourself back where you were, which you expected. And you don't know that they don't have memories of what happened, but you know that you do. You can see into the room, because you're right in front of Pam, you can see a little bit higher. The rafters are up there, and there's a small walkway that's suspended within the rafters that kind of exits from so if you look up, right, there's a wall that is obviously like a room on the second story, which stops on the first. So the first is wide open, while the second has some parts labeled off, and the walkway extends into the distance where you can't see. You notice the same thing. You, though, have this very specific image in your head. You remember Whiskey handing you a pink pearl, and you remember the words, the sirens of the pink pearl. And you can feel within your pack, or actually on the side of it, kind of banging against you, something that definitely wasn't there before. All right.
I also remember him telling me about the Raven Queen.
Yes, you do. You remember what Torval said about the Raven Queen. You remember that whole conversation. Yes, you do.
It's just like random. All right.
It's completely. It feels like nothing has happened.
Yeah.
But as you come back, to the scene, it all floods into your head.
So I'm in. So it's.
You were in the front
first.
There are 3 people in front of you, kind of leading you in.
And there's people inside the room.
There's people inside the room that are a few of them. So there's 6 people within the room that are not counting the 6 that were manhandling you guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 in front of you. that were with you, that went outside and got you guys. And then there's 6 around a multitude of tables within the building.
So really quick as I walk in, I glance up at the balcony.
Yeah, you see the rafters and then like a suspended walkway.
And I gauge in that small amount of time as I'm like reaching around fiddling my backpack, because that's how we ended, was I was like fiddling with the Mr. Tib. Can I gauge like the distance to that balcony?
It appears that
something I could make
the walkway is about, it's probably about 12 to 15 feet off the ground.
So it's something I
It's
feel
in the
comfortable
rafters.
about. Probably.
You've jumped up to high places before, and you feel like you could maybe, maybe not from the entrance where you're at, because like, okay, so imagine there's like the entrance, which is here, right, and then a wall, and then the building's kind of like, it's really like over here. Well, there's like this small section that's open all the way to the top, but then like right here, there's like a room, and then you can see the walkway like here, if that makes sense.
Do I see people up on the balcony?
No.
All right. So, I'm the first one in. There's 6 other people inside.
There's
the room.
4 people directly in front of you, and then there's 6 people that only like 2 of them kind of are like half out of their chairs, and 4 are.
Do I feel like comfortable as I make it into the room? I could leap up to the balcony.
It seems like something that you probably have done in the past. It's a pretty high jump, but
Run for it.
you can make a perception check if you'd like,
Yeah.
just to see if it's something that you think you
My
could definitely make.
for my my character. Can I like? Do I have to like do it once per turn per person if I want to talk to people?
You guys are kind of in like a free play right now, so you can just tell me what you want to do.
Oh no, this is definitely something that would be metagaming otherwise. So 10. I have to tell them this.
Well, you can do it telepathically. You look up. It's kind of like the same thing I said before. It looks like it's doable, but probably a little bit difficult. But something you could do.
So even if I like was to like rub a bead, like nonchalantly to spin the key.
Well, and that doubles your jump, which definitely makes it a lot easier. There's rafters that are below that. So the rafters are about 10 feet off of the floor. So it's like 10-foot ceilings with rafters that extend further up, maybe another like 7 feet. So you could probably, with your key point, make the jump pretty easy.
All right, so I'm gonna like glance back.
Do you want to do anything first?
Oh yeah, I definitely do want to.
Okay.
So
Just interrupt whoever's going, because at this point, if somebody decides to move, it's all going to happen. So.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that I can talk to, I know at least one person, but I can talk to everybody telepathically. They can't respond to me, but I'm basically going to tell every one of them to turn around and run out the door.
But I know the way the building was facing,
So-
I know the direction of said bridge or
It's
said,
like directly ahead. Yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of like in the direction where the thing on top is moving. But he's right, you guys can't respond. So you hear a voice in your head that sounds familiar. It sounds like Sane Crypto, who you're still kind of getting used to. Minsk kind of gets this weird look on his face, like,
God?
and he looks at Boo, like, is that Boo? And then, but you hear in your head, what did you say?
Run out the way you came,
Run out the way you came.
because here comes smoke screen.
So as soon as he says that, in my best Rick James voice, I say, "I'm B-Shop Nuka Luka, bitch!" And I
So
jump up to
he
the
says,
raft.
"He's out, Luka Luka, bitch!" And then darkness clouds out around you guys and fills the majority of the room that you can see. It's all complete darkness. You can hear voices from the guy, "What's going on?" And then you hear, "It's Bees Hop Luka Luka, bitch!" And nobody can see this except for Dakota.
Yeah.
And you're kind of hoping that you remember you're blindly leaping. I need you to make an acrobat. It's your choice, acrobatics or athletics with advantage.
Same dexterity though, right?
No, athletics is strength, acrobatics is dex.
I'll take dex.
Okay, so, and then you should have
+4.
Yeah.
So advantage, you
Plus
said?
6.
+6. Okay.
Yeah.
And you should have yelled was for the queen.
5. So
Okay, so that's good enough
14.
though. So yeah, so you kind of, the darkness kind of blooms around your feet as you jump out of it, and you kind of get your hand right on the edge of the top of one of the rafters and begin pulling yourself up towards the walkway.
Good enough.
What do you do?
As that other hand slipped
You
their
can't
body out of the
see
darkness.
anything. You can't see anything. Like, it is
Inside there.
dark.
That's why I said turn the way you came.
Yeah.
So if I back up
Mhm.
and
So
Like to the edge of the building.
you
Like,
kind of back up and immediately bump into Whiskey, who is doing.
Okay, so is the darkness outside too?
Yeah, because it's 30 feet.
It's
So it
centered around
goes.
him.
Yeah, it's 30 feet from where he was, which was right in front of you. And so you guys think 5 feet, 5 feet, 5 feet, 5 feet, 5 feet.
Okay.
It's like way out here.
So
there's a lot of darkness.
is there a bridge to cross on the ground level
No.
out here?
Not
So
that
we
you saw.
have to go up there.
Wait, so I'm still outside the building. We're all still outside.
No,
the
no, no.
building.
You are in the door frame.
Okay, good. So then my action's done, but
Well, I mean, just so what are you guys doing? You back up towards the entrance. You bump into Whiskey.
I was gonna grab them by the belts and just run with them, but figured out.
Minsk is about to do basically that
Mhm.
because he just heard from who he assumes is Boo to.
I'm gonna
to
start
run.
hunting with them from now on.
Can
Hey, you
Minsk
shot no
climb?
little bitch.
From what you know of Minsk, he's a ranger. He's pretty good in
Okay,
the woods
great.
and other things like that.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna
Echolocation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to look up and like find quickly go up the side of the building.
Okay, so you're inside the building a little bit. As you guys move out, actually no, you're right outside the building. So you know directly to your left and your right would be building. She's right in front of you. So you kind of grab her and move your way to the left. Do you climb before you can see, or do you just start climbing? So you have to think the darkness is about it's the 30 feet
Sphere.
30-foot
Are the
sphere.
people outside, the people that was escorting us in, are they outside the darkness sphere though?
No, they're well.
So everybody.
Everybody is within the darkness sphere except for the 6 that were further across the room.
In D&D, like, what's the difference? I guess,
What do you mean?
like,
Oh, so if you start climbing in darkness,
yeah.
it'll probably give you disadvantage because you can only feel. You can't see what you're grabbing onto. So you can still climb, but it's at disadvantage, which means you roll twice and take the lowest.
Okay.
And for you, same thing. You can choose athletics or acrobatics. I think it's supposed to be athletics for climbing, but I always thought they were the same.
I'm gonna kind of go to the side and try to get out of the darkness.
Okay, and so as you move to the side, you hear a voice from behind you that you recognize as Minsk, and he just kind of yells out, and he's like, sorry, I'm trying to think of the stupid sayings that he says. He's like, "Good friends, smashing heads, a great day for Minsk and Boo," and he just you can hear shwink and just the clashing of swords behind you.
Oh, really?
But you said you started climbing though?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll, and you can. So what we'll say, because you're going with him,
Yeah, well,
that you guys are like assisting each other in this, because she's got like pittons and like stuff to climb with. So make a just straight roll for either athletics or acrobatics.
That's what it says. Run away. One's climbing the tower, the other one's fighting the guards.
Oh, no bonus?
The other one literally
It's your athletics or acrobatics.
his way into the
16? Yeah, you're good. Okay, so you guys begin climbing up, and as you get to, you eventually kind of crest your way out of the, the darkness sphere, and you can still hear you can hear, and just you can hear the slashing of swords, and you hear like not Minska's voice, but somebody else, and within the darkness there. You say anything to Minsk?
Minsk, I'm going topside.
Okay, Whiskey! And you still hear the same crap, just him kicking ass. All right, so we're back to you. So you, what are you doing? Actually, you did the darkness. Are you moving?
I did the darkness, and I was like, "We need."
Are you running out the door?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you run out the door, and you can see the whole time. So you see.
darkness move those.
Yes, because it's on me.
All right, well that actually helps a little bit. It makes you guys get out of the darkness a little bit sooner. Minsk is still well within it, and he's just blindly swinging his sword and cackling and laughing. And you can see Boo on his shoulder just, like doing his thing because he's intimidating and awesome. And so, yeah, and as you move closer, it just envelops them in deeper darkness.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, I guess
He's kind of pushed them back like 5 feet. Just do what you're gonna do.
this is what I did. I was trying to get them an escape, but I don't remember where we're supposed
Do you run past Boo, or do you? It's up to you, man. You make a choice.
So he climbed the tower. We just escaped out of with her.
He's
right?
climbing the
Yeah.
tower with
We're
her.
So I
climbing
mean,
the
jump
tower.
on.
You don't necessarily see them. If you want to try to see them, you need to roll a perception check because you just ran out the building. You would not think that.
Well,
they
probably
would
as
climb.
I'm jumping, because as soon as I heard his mental, verbal rape of my mind, I jumped and yelled out "Bishop Nuka Luka, bitch," and then
That's all, and I'm just like,
and then
okay,
I backed out.
All right, we'll come back to you in a moment. So think about if you're gonna go past Boo, look for them, or I mean, 'cause you can just run. It doesn't matter.
I could, but I'm gonna stick with Boo just because I can
Okay,
see Boo.
So do you want to attack the people he's fighting?
Can I see how many of them he's fighting? Two. He's fighting two.
One of them is looking pretty bedraggled. He's like holding his arm, and so he's got like another mace because sometimes they have two maces, sometimes they have a shield, just kind of limply hung by his side. But he's got the other one, trying to fend off Minsk.
Typically, I am all no survivors like, but I would like to kind of get the group back together. So first thing I want to do is roll for, I guess, perception check to see what these guys are.
Okay, so roll a perception check.
20.
What's your wisdom? So 13.
Okay. Yeah. So as you exit, you can kind of hear like as Jasmine is climbing. She's putting in little pittance, like give herself some help. Ting 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 ting. As she's moving up, so you hear that noise and you look and you can see them climbing the tower.
Okay. And I can't yell at them, can I?
Yep. And so we'll go back to you. So you kind of climb your way to the rafters. You pull yourself up. Are you trying to get to the walkway?
Yes.
All right. So you get on the walkway and you can see directly behind you there is a currently closed door. Ahead of you, it kind of extends. It's a little bit dim up here, especially down this further, part of the walkway. But you can see like flames of torches even up
Which
here.
is the
that are
way of the said bridge that would have been the exit point. From
does somebody have a dry erase? I'm just gonna draw on the screen. It should be over there, I think.
I looked earlier.
I think.
Oh, you always get it from out there.
Yeah,
Well, no, I think she
wasn't
threw them
there.
all away. Did you not see Lucy's face?
That makes sense.
Well, no, that was other ink, but
I have a ton of them, and I keep forgetting to bring them. I need scrap.
was
Does
so
somebody have a piece
cute.
of scrap paper, real quick? I'll draw you guys a quick little.
Once you get into the markers,
yes.
Okay.
Remember her mustache? And then she's like, I'm going to gather them all up, give them to my husband, so I'll put them all away. I was laughing. That's what Brittany said.
Damn.
She looked kind of cute, but then I was wondering, she did a really good job on her mustache.
Wasn't Chad.
So that's what I was thinking,
That was
because
me. She sat here and I just kind of etched it in. Gave her a little angry man goatee.
The thing that's non-toxic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're currently like here,
Mhm.
small room entrance. This is a little bit bigger than that,
Mhm.
and then the
So I
walkway
came into
extends
and I
this
jumped
way.
up. There's a room behind me and there's a room this way.
You can't see quite that far,
But then,
but it goes that way.
So what is the direction?
You would know that
of-
this is the way towards the
That's where
bridge.
I'm going to go towards the bridge.
Okay, all right. So you begin I need you to roll. If you're trying to be, and you can be honest if you are you trying to be stealthy at all? Or are you just running full blast?
Can I hear what's going on down below me?
It's just
As soon as I
absolute
jumped in.
bedlam. You hear Minsk yelling and screaming and slashing. You can see the people that were current, because you can see pretty well from up here. All the people that were sitting are now up and have weapons drawn and are running towards the door.
Alright, so but none of them are focused on me, per se.
No, not
I don't see
really.
anyone like,
No.
"Hey, here." Alright, so yeah, I'll be kind of stealthy. I mean, not
Okay.
like I'm not gonna like tiptoe, but
Sure, roll a stealth check.
Oh,
You rolled a one.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, the fumble check is really for attacks, but just for fun, I'm gonna roll one. Let's see.
he tripped over a knot hole in the floor.
Yeah.
The board was uneven and he tripped.
Literally stepped on his own foot. Just.
Okay, this is actually good for this. Roll a dex check, straight dex, no proficiency.
6.
Okay, so as you kind of
Well,
begin,
10.
as you kind of begin climbing here, the DC was 15. As you begin trying to get your way on top of the walkway, your foot kind of hooks on one of the rafters and you fall flat on your face. And as you do that, you kind of yelp a little bit, like just you didn't expect it. It clicks your teeth together and you make like a small noise, just like a little, and you can hear, like chairs and stuff being thrown back in the
In
room
the
next to you.
darkness or upstairs still?
Upstairs
I
in
got
the
over the
room
raft.
behind you. Yeah, you are on the walkway.
Okay.
So you are prone right now, but you've only used, let's say, 20 feet of movement. So it's half of your total movement to get up. It's like 25 feet. So you would still have another 15 feet of movement after that.
So I heard chairs moving around.
You're hearing stuff moving in the back, and they were probably already getting up anyways. You're not that far behind the curve because they hear stuff downstairs. But they specifically heard something outside the
there's
door.
nothing.
Shouldn't be happening.
Can I see if there's a way to slip my, get the right word, combo, like to lock the door?
On your side, it's just a simple door with just a small lock thing on it. There's no handle
jam
or anything like that.
Alright. I'm gonna get up and head still towards the exit.
Okay. So as you move your full movement on past this walkway, you hear the door open behind you and you hear a voice just, "Hey! What are you doing up here?" And then that's it. Alright, so we'll go back to Dakota. Have you decided what you're going?
Yeah. Not that I don't like Boo or Minx. It's just I know her more than I know any of them, and currently her is attached to other her, so. No, he's playing as what's her face, isn't he?
Whiskey. Yeah.
I thought you pointed towards Mortho.
No.
A little slight jab there.
No, that's a whole other cat of another color. We won't go there.
All right.
Anyways, so I see them scaling the wall. Boo clearly has these things under wrap, and I don't see anybody else coming to attack him besides the two he's fighting. So, gods, I know I'm going to hate this, because Crypto is not athletic. Time to climb the wall.
Yeah, because you can see behind you from where you came, those 4 guys who were in front of y'all are starting to come through the door towards Minsk.
Mm-hmm.
They can't see in the darkness, though, so you start climbing towards the wall. I'm guessing you guys have left the pittons and stuff like that to help get yourself up there. So it's pretty easy for you to climb. Roll an athletics check with advantage.
You didn't close the door.
It's advantage.
So roll again?
Yeah.
So 10?
17.
10 plus minus
16. If I have a minus.
Oh, you choose one.
I know, but it'll be 16 if I have a minus, because I rolled twice. 10 and 17.
No, you lowest the high. Okay, so as you begin climbing up the stairs, remember you have 2 inspiration die at your disposal that you can use at any time for a roll. You begin to feel yourself falling from about 10 feet up towards the people that are rushing out the door.
Inspiration, let's go.
It's an extra D10.
Oh, okay.
So roll a D10 and just add that to I think
lowest?
9, which was.
This one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. Number 1. 3.
You're good because you only needed 1 to get up there. So as you begin to fall, you quickly reach your hand forward. You feel this strange weight lift from your shoulders, and as you begin to climb, and the darkness follows you. So as he does that, you guys find yourself plunged into darkness once again.
I yell at them.
But we're on top. We're on.
Yeah, he's probably. Well, you guys aren't quite to the roof yet. You're currently climbing. So because it was probably. I mean, you have to think I think you climb at half the speed that you normally walk, and you guys walked a little before you got up there. You're probably about 25 feet up the wall. You're getting close to the roof. The roof's maybe another 5 feet.
That's so in character that I would have an active divine.
And you're about
to
10.
climb a wall.
Okay, and we're going to stop there for a moment and go back to more clips. I got to change the music. It's important.
How important is it? Health potions, auto saved. What's going on?
Okay, so you currently find yourself at odds. You're trying to break into this obviously hidden door, but you've been unable to find the mechanism.
I reach in my pack,
Okay.
pull out my sending stone for Shogo,
Okay.
and
Hey, Kogo! Beaten into the money.
You can kind of hear there's like a moment of hesitation on the other end because it kind of picks up. You can tell that it did because you start hearing ambient noises and you hear Morthos? Morthos, is that you?
It is.
Oh, wait, no. He doesn't say that. He says,
What did he say?
oh shit, what was it? What was the name you gave him? It was something really stupid. Do you remember? You were a half dragon, a bronze half dragon, and your name was like Dippity Doo or something.
I can't remember.
Ding dong. Ding dong.
Was it Ding Dong?
Yeah.
Ding Dong. Is that you?
Ding dong. Ding dong.
yes, this is Ding Dong.
Did my emissaries, did they reach you? The
No,
barbarian and the bard. Did they find you?
Yes, but now they've gone with the rest of the party somewhere.
They've gone.
I don't know. I'm trying to find Zanti.
Okay.
It looks like she's got a safe room or a safe thing here. It looks like she's hid herself in there. I'm trying to get it open. I don't know if you know.
Okay.
Have you seen Zanti? Or
I have to admit I've heard of this room within her house. From what I am told, there is an item that I think it's on something actually within her room. Something that you pull or press that can maybe open that door for you.
That's what I missed.
Yeah.
okay. All right. So I head upstairs.
Okay, so it's on the ground floor. So as you kind of go into the building further, you can see more destroyed things. As you actually go towards the back of the building, you can still follow the drag marks as they lead to a door that's knocked off of its hinges towards the back of the building. So within the room, I need you to, and unfortunately Toban is not a huge help when it comes to investigating. So he just kind of stands there, like waiting to smash something.
So perception, that would be
We'll go perception at this point. Yeah,
14.
Sure. You kind of begin looking around and trying to find this. You know that it should be something that you know that looks out of the ordinary or something like that, and you're like pulling things and pressing things and trying to get it to work, and nothing works. If you would like to continue to look, I'll give you one more try, and you can choose either higher DC or disadvantage. It's your choice. You just tell me before you roll.
Roll it with disadvantage?
Either or a higher DC, and you don't know what the DC was. You know it wasn't 14 though.
Ooh. Yeah, no. That, either way.
Do we hold or bet?
It was hard for you to find it too.
I
You
couldn't
rolled
find
pretty
it,
high.
and I stayed in there like 2 turns.
What do you want to do, man?
Come on, natural
Toban
20.
can't help me.
Disadvantage.
I'm talking to Coco on the
He's
phone.
really Coco has kind of told you he's still there. Do you say anything else to him?
And I'm like, Coco, come on, man. I'm pulled and yanked and pushed and kicked about everything in her room here.
It should have maybe some kind of personal sentiment. I don't know.
As he drinks his Dr. Pibb.
Oh no!
So does she have like a dresser or a vanity?
So Coco kind of relays to you.
What?
He doesn't know a lot about Xanthi.
Just run.
He knows though that she is secretly one of the leaders of the Yepka, which you haven't learned a ton about in the city, but she was one of the ones who was speaking to the rest of, to the Moon Stars and the other people to try and convince them to help. So the Yepka Society, he kind of tells you, I don't know, maybe it could be that. It's something. It'll have a Triceratops on it. It could be that, or she's a merchant of jewels. You could look for jewels. Maybe there's something jeweled that she has there. She was a member of a noble family. Maybe her family seal, something like that. I don't know what it looks like.
So roll initiative.
I guess I'll go with a higher DC.
Okay. So in this case, I will give you advantage because you learned those 3 things.
There you go.
But it is a higher DC, so you roll twice to take the highest.
That's obviously not. That's a 15, which is 1 higher.
You just cannot find what this is.
Crap.
You feel like you've missed something.
Alright.
And while you're waiting,
Taban kind of looks at you. He's like, "Do you want me to just start smashing things? What are we doing?"
Sure, go ahead. I'm
All right.
looking for a Triceratops.
And so he. Here, we're gonna make this a really high DC to see if you can get it. Nope. Nope. All right. So he just starts smashing everything within her room. Like anything that hasn't been burned is now smashed, and like her bed is smashed. When before maybe she could have just flipped the mattress and been good. Like everything is like destroyed. Like all the furniture is gone. There's a couple of bookshelves where some of the books are destroyed. Nothing appeared to work though.
Jeez. Kogo.
I feel your pain.
I've failed and I've got to find her. I've got
He's
to
like,
save her.
I heard that was a lot of noise. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm good. Toban's decided to help me here. I don't know. His methods are a little,
Very.
Wow. Okay.
a little more forceful. I don't know if I gotta find this Zanti or who's the assassin lady again? Jessamine put me on this quest to save Zanti and have Zanti join Wakanga and us in our quest, or she was going to join the Red Robes and stick her assassins on us. What can you do to help us?
I feel like I've given you all the information I have. I don't know. I don't know what else I can tell you. Did you? I know, right? That's like, okay. So this is the final time I will allow you to roll for this check. It's not that. It's roll one more time.
This is metagame.
Just assume that the DC is extremely high.
Nothing.
And we'll see if we can find it. And you roll. I saw you do it. That's fine. As you begin, that's hilarious that you rolled a natural 20. Like, and if I wouldn't have watched it, I wouldn't have believed you.
Took long enough.
So, as you're beginning to give up, and Toban has smashed everything within the room, any books that were of value are now destroyed. If not for the rain coming through the holes in the ceiling, they are now smashed to smithereens by a giant warhammer and holy power. But you notice there is one book that it's labeled. It has a what language do you speak?
Common, Infernal, and Thieves' Cant.
Okay, it's not in a language that you recognize, but you notice, and the way you noticed it is the shelf that it was on was smashed. All the other books fell, but that one, like they were kind of skewed like this. That one's still straight.
Huh.
And so, do you pull it? All right, so you reach out and pull it, and the room explodes. No, I'm just kidding. So you reach out and you pull it, and you hear in the other room that you were in.
Followed by.
So we take off.
What's going on?
What room is this? My red room.
We get in there.
Okay, hold on a second. So you make your way down the stairs, and you can see that there's
I closed the. Is there a thing to close the door behind us?
there is a lever right on the inside. You
And
want
that
to pull it?
it opens and closes the outside.
Yeah, you play with it a little bit. And you can see it's like.
Okay. I close the door.
All right, so you close it behind you, and it kind of gets a little bit darker, but you and Toban can see.
Okay.
And as you're kind of making your way along, Toban kind of touches the side of the room, and this silver kind of, it's a silvery kind of black almost strip of light lights up and kind of extends down before you down into a darker room.
We keep descending.
All right, so you kind of continue along your way. You don't hear any noises or anything out there.
Okay. Do I see anything like traps?
Good idea. What'd you roll? You rolled a high. It's over 20. Okay, good.
21. Yeah.
You kind of immediately, you stop Toban, and you notice that there's a whole section of the stairs that is some type of pressure switch. You don't know what it does, but it's some kind of pressure switch. Do you want to try to see if you can disarm it, or do you just want to avoid it? It's about a 5-foot section.
Jump over it.
I think avoid it would probably.
Toban can't jump 5 feet.
No, I wouldn't jump. Can you walk around it? Is it?
No, it's a whole
Yeah,
stairway.
it's just one stairway.
Oh wow.
Throw Toban.
Well,
He's gonna go rolling down the stairs like a tin can.
so well, I get a +10 with my thieves tools, right?
And so, well, what you would roll first is you would roll an investigation check, because you're trying to see how to disarm it.
Oh, God.
Then you would use your thieves' tools to try to disarm
Literally just throwing stairs. How do you?
9 plus.
it. Investigation.
It'll be 13.
Yeah, okay. So you can see that, obviously it's a pressure switch. It works by moving down. But you can see there's a small crack where you think that maybe if you wedge something in there, it would stop it. Maybe Toban would try to jump a little bit, maybe don't put your whole weight on it. But you think you could maybe do it.
All right, I'll try to disarm it.
We'll just say since it's something simple that you just kind of shove it in there and hope for the best.
Okay. Do I need to roll
So
or
no, you're good on
Okay.
rolling. Hold on a second. So You make your way down the stairs, being, looking out for traps and things like that. You don't seem to see any more. You don't know what that trap did. You don't know if it alerted people or what happened. But it was a trap. So as you kind of make your way down, you can see that the strip has lit up an entire room. It kind of snakes its way up these large columns. It's about a room that's like maybe 30 feet by 30 feet. And it is full of boxes, and boxes. All of them look like chests. They're all locked.
Oh my god.
You're gonna go insane.
Or not locked. They all have locks on them, is what I should say.
They all have locks?
Yeah, they all have very obvious locks, like big beefy ones that are connected to them.
You're looking for the girl one.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. What?
So Bond's like literally like, oh man, this is.
Did we find a treasure room, Tabon?
I think I'm gonna look for items that are related to Ooptao. And he just immediately gets his hammer up and starts moving.
No. There could be more traps. We need to be.
Oh.
That could be a guy. Let's see if we can find Zenchi first. What do you think? We do have assassins. That
So
might be.
I'm gonna remember. So Bond is neutral good. You sure we shouldn't look at any of these?
I
mean,
let's investigate.
you could probably open these, Morthos.
Okay, I rolled a 16.
Okay, so you're looking to see
The booby trap.
if they're booby trapped. You kind of begin looking at each of the locks. It doesn't look like the floor is trapped or anything like that, but it looks like each of the locks, they're the same kind of really beefy lock. And you can tell just by getting a little bit closer that these chests are made of very fine wood, very hard. You kind of wrap your hand on it and they're very tough. Some of them are made of metal, but they all have that same lock on them, and that lock is most definitely trapped.
Yeah, Tabon, I don't want to mess with these locks at this time.
I can see that you're scared. How about this? You go in the hallway. I smash one of these boxes and see what happens. The worst that'll happen
Is the whole
is I die. And
yeah,
then
but
you
the whole
will-
room could cave in, and I'm stuck in this hall with nothing. So
I really want to break one of these boxes.
let's go find Zanti. I think we should find Zanti.
All right.
So
Smash the box.
He really wanted to smash some of the
you
boxes.
did smash the room though.
Well, I tried. I did smash the room. You're right.
I mean, so
I love this guy.
And so you guys make your way back up the stairs.
okay.
I thought that you said that Zandy was in this room. It just looks like treasure.
Maybe she's inside one of the boxes.
That's what I didn't. No, we didn't go upstairs. Is there another way out of that room, or?
Not that you can see. It appears to be a natural cave that was expanded, and roll a investigation check.
That's all that's down here?
No.
You rolled a 2.
Yeah, I rolled a 2.
Um,
That's a 6. I didn't.
You kind of begin trying to make your way to the back to see what's there, but it becomes very difficult to get past the boxes. And as far as you can see, looks normal.
All right, Tabon. These boxes are getting in the way. No, don't.
But because he immediately starts moving forward to smash some boxes.
Right over there to the
But
legs.
it is a booby trap on those locks. Because if you look at all the locks, I don't
Okay,
know.
so leave the room. I'll smash the box.
But I'll need you.
He's
What if
not.
you die?
He's not touching the
I
lock.
mean, I don't think I'll die. I'm pretty strong.
Okay. Crack that door a little bit.
Get on here.
Yeah.
You're in the hottest seat. I don't know why.
So it's just the locks. If you just smash the wooden box,
Maybe.
I don't know.
Seems like you know more about this than I do.
Just smash it.
Do you think I should look at it again, Tabon, at the chest itself?
Why don't you try to pick one of the locks? I see you with those tools.
I see you with those tools.
Let's go for it. I'll try to pick the lock.
Okay. All right. So as you kind of begin, you can hear his footsteps begin to move backwards a little bit. I'm just, I told you to get out of the room. I'm just doing the same thing. I'll stand here. Don't worry.
Are there like hinges on it?
On the box? In the back of it, yeah. They're well made and well crafted, so they're almost hidden from view, but there are hinges.
Could you take and knock them out with like your dagger?
There's no obvious open mechanism, so like the hinges, it's not like it's almost like they're part of the box, part of some type, like like it's almost like they're in the wall of the box versus.
They're
There's
not
no
like,
way to.
they're not
Yeah,
like
they're not
open.
exposed like that. It would
Yeah.
like that part of it you would have to assume is hidden in some
Oh,
way.
you can't get to that.
Pick, pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the
That's some
lock.
advanced technology they got.
No honor, no glory, right?
Stop being a little bit Shane.
7.
17.
Yeah, you got expertise and all that stuff on that.
You're
It's
built to
good.
do.
So as you begin, okay, how about this? All right, so as you do that, you can feel it, and it crashes to the ground. Nothing happens.
Crashes to the ground.
Right there.
The lock, it just falls off.
Oh.
Oh.
It didn't explode or anything. You
Oh,
feel like you probably didn't set off a trap.
Yeah, but
That's
the
what-
way it just fell off, I reached, grabbed the lock, and I lock it back.
Okay, so you grab the lock,
But I don't put it on the chest.
and you don't do what?
I don't put it on the chest. I just lock it.
Okay, so you're just holding it. Okay, well, one of the pieces, like the reason why it fell, like the crossbar piece that like holds the two parts together, is still on the chest.
Okay.
It's like it's part of it.
Oh. So what I want to do is look in the chest.
Okay, so
I want to look in the chest. Let's look in the chest.
Here we
Hey,
go.
oh,
wow.
to look in the chest, you
Yeah.
look very well. So you open the chest, and I'm gonna roll this again because that's a weird thing for it to be.
That was
That's
chest
weird.
opening music.
Uh-oh.
Literally.
Zelda.
Literally. Classic, you open the chest.
And as I'm opening it, I'm like, Santi, are you in there? Are you in there?
So you say that, and you notice because you rolled a 20 that she's not in there. You see within the chest, you see there's 100 gold pieces in a small bag, 2 pounds of exotic spices, 10 bottles of fine wine, 3 I think it's agate or agate, agate. How do you say it? Agate. 3 agates worth 10 gold each.
100 gold piece.
100 gold pieces, 2 pounds of exotic spices, which in your fencing days you know is probably worth about 30 gold.
Whiskey has to buy the spices.
10 bottles of fine wine, which you know runs about 10 gold each, so it's about 100 gold worth of wine. And 3 agate worth 10 gold each in this one chest. And there's probably another, I don't know,
How many agates? 10?
10.
We should talk.
And then there's probably another like 40 or 50 chests within the room.
Good luck.
You need to just start having Tobon smash shit, really.
Hey, Tavon.
Rolling.
Yeah.
I think if Toban smashes any of these boxes,
It will
it's
explode.
probably gonna ruin whatever's inside.
Yeah. It's not going to
But
be.
think about the wine and like that wouldn't have made it. It would have
But
been.
see,
So
now
I
you
like
know
it.
though. But now you know where the room is. You got to remember that,
Yeah.
and you know where
Xantha could
the
be dead. You know, I mean, hey,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So I lock that chest back.
All right, so you put the lock back on the chest.
Boom.
As you try to do it, it doesn't immediately just click back into place. I need you to roll an investigation check to see if you can see how it fixes to it. That's a 1.
That
All
don't count.
No, that counts. That's not cocked.
It
All right,
was.
so that's a 1. So let's do a fumble chart here.
The lock.
Actually, I feel like it's obvious what happens, but I'm gonna roll the fumble. All right, there
Drops the lock on his toe.
Yeah.
Screams. Somehow
The
the
dragon rips.
I was distracted. Tobon.
Roll a straight dex check, no proficiency, just your dex
the
mod.
staircase
So plus 4,
actually triggers.
3.
plus 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13.
13.
So as you begin trying to figure out how to affix the lock,
Yes.
you kind of you immediately just go, and it kind of clicks a little bit. So you go, yeah, that's
Oh.
probably it.
Pinch my hand.
And then you let it go, and it just immediately falls back to the ground.
Oh gosh.
And as you do,
Breaks your fucking foot.
Falls on my foot.
Gosh. You stab your hand, which probably attributed to your fumbling the lock. You're still bleeding, I'm sure.
I'm taking the lock with me.
Damn.
Well, as you
I'm gonna throw it at something.
as you drop it, let's see if I can actually find one of these. I need you to roll a dex save. So this is your dexterity plus your save bonus, whatever that is.
+5. 20.
Okay, so a large cloud of like this green noxious gas just out of the lock, and you kind of skip back as quickly as you can, but you get a little whiff of it, so you're gonna take half damage. And
Picks it up and full of ice.
66.
can somebody give me? I need another D10.
So I'm immune to fire though, right?
Yeah.
Damn shame it's not fire.
6, 3, 10. You take 19 points of poison damage.
That's half, mind you.
Is that half?
That's half.
Oh no, it isn't. I'm sorry. Thank you, Vern. It is not half.
much HP,
So
though?
rounded down. So 9 points of poison damage.
I would have killed you.
Just a
Did you ever reach your health for level 4? Yeah.
Oh, I saw 14, sorry.
Yeah,
I saw
so-
41.
Yeah.
I read it.
So -9.
Discalculated.
something. I can't say it, but I
Oh,
know.
wow.
I remember.
That's right.
So you can tell now these are deadly traps.
It's a bond. I don't think Xanthi's down here.
So I should smash all of the chests.
No, Lord no. Did you not see that gas?
What gas?
I was out of the room to be 100%.
Oh, that stuff is there. Somehow those locks is magic booby trapped to dispense gas.
At least
Leave
that one
these
was.
out.
Are you
Yeah,
greatly
that one.
injured?
Not greatly, but it.
Perhaps we should try again.
So you're saying I shouldn't smash?
No, you shouldn't smash
Okay.
because the
It's a
gas
good thing
will
I didn't
spread.
find that book.
Okay.
Because I'd be
Ten
open
to one
to
says 10 to 1 says that freaking staircase would set off all locks at one time, filling the entire room with gas.
Yeah.
It would just corrode the boxes and destroy them too.
Okay. So but once again, you were heading towards the back. You decided to open a chest. You've opened the chest. You've skipped back at this point. You're much closer to the entrance. What do you decide to do?
For the betterment of humanity, detonate the whole chamber.
I would have nicknamed the whole.
Or sell maps to it. Anyone who comes and tries to get it,
There you go.
well, they'll just die, and you just keep selling the maps.
You can sell a map to a high prince's house. There you go. I guess you could.
I mean, it's a
All right.
I think we're gonna go back upstairs, or I am. I don't know if you want to go to mine. I mean, I think that would be the wisest.
I'll take your advice and not smash all of these chests.
I don't know if there's another hidden compartment down here, but I think if there was, it would be. I think this is just her hidden gold and stuff that she's. So let's head back upstairs and see where those drag marks led to.
Oh,
Her head
okay.
is beside
So
me.
he follows you. All right. So you begin following the drag marks. You can see they lead outside. Roll another investigation
Damn.
check.
She talented.
Wow, what happened there?
I sat her up, she flipped, she said, fuck you.
She has her preferences.
Yeah.
Okay, that's high enough. So you begin to see these strange, now that you're on grass, so you're on the back of the building, there's still a fence that wraps around the whole thing. As you kind of look though, you can see a large rent into the iron
Kissing at the cat.
of the gate, of the fence that's behind you. And you can see the drag marks lead outside of that, and they lead towards another one of the mansions. It is.
A monastery, apparently.
It's been so long. Hold on, it's at the bottom of this. I know it is.
What are we? This?
Vespers.
Oh.
Quaiothe. It leads towards Quaiothes house. Who you know, you were warned by Wakanda that she was like the one that messed with like fire demons and stuff.
Oh, I'm good. Fire demons?
Yeah, that's great. All shit must be real good.
Yeah.
Are you immune or resistant?
I have no clue.
I think it's probably resistance. Immunity would be OP.
Help
Yeah.
resistance.
Okay, cool.
Fire.
Well, that's half damage. I mean,
Yeah.
that's still pretty good.
I should have.
All right, so you kind of make your way. Are you following the tracks?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see they lead towards Quiothe's house. I need you to roll one more investigation check so you can follow the trail. It's super high. So you easily follow the trail. You can see right where it leads. And it goes right inside her manse grounds. She's got most of the cactuses and stuff like that, like stuff from more arid climates. But there is one small copse of trees. And you can see that they lead right towards the copse of trees. And as you kind of go in there, you find a dark hole that leads deeper into the ground.
Oh God. So Bon, what's the deal with us going into these dungeons or whatever
These dirty
what-
holes.
Yeah. I mean, constantly finding ourselves under a million tons of dirt.
It's almost like the underworld of cities takes place in the underworld of the earth.
And Morthos is incredibly influenced by this poem.
He's like our favorite video game. That's a little deep for you to buy.
And that's why he shakes his head and goes, exactly.
We go.
I'm better than.
Wait, before we go. This seems a little bit sketchy. He's going to do things. I have his character right here. There's his spells.
It's not gonna stand.
Okay, so he kind of looks at you and he tells you, I have spells that can help us.
Awesome.
If we come up against enemies, I will save those. But for now, I can at least bolster you and make you a little bit tougher. Himself and you can kind of see he takes out this tiny strip of white cloth, and he begins kind of moving his fingers and muttering under his breath. You hear the word Ubtao a few times, and then as you do that, you begin to feel yourself feel a little bit stronger. And your hit point maximum goes up by 5, and you heal 5 hit points. So if you were 43 hit points total before, now you're 48, and whatever you were down to, just raise it by 5. So 48 minus 9 for each other.
Is the 48 temporary or is that?
It is until he tells you this will last a long time,
Not that she's in.
for 8 hours.
Boy, that gerbils into her.
Literally.
There's only once.
And then he also does things.
He's picked up that saying since she died.
Of course.
Oh, sorry for
What's that?
that.
Oh, hey, look, this is
And he kind of just looks to tell you, he's like, Morthos, we've had our fun in the past, but stay close to me, and I will listen to your words. But if we have to go into battle, I can make us both quite a bit stronger if you wait before we leap.
You don't know who that is?
Gotcha.
And you said you know
Warning
nothing?
it gives you.
All right.
All right, so you begin to descend down into
Are you serious?
the darkness, and we will stop there.
What
What did you roll?
7.
So it was a perception. See if you see anything.
Yeah, 7 and
You
4.
have
and
to-
then-
You can begin to
Honestly,
see
I thought it was
the
right now.
flickerings of light in a chamber ahead. Then we go to the
I
next.
do what?
All right.
I'll explain the HBO logo though.
This guy picks this up and goes, "You know nothing," and he has no clue who that is.
I thought it was Aragorn, son of Arathorn, so I saw the black sword, and I was like, what the fuck?
I don't believe him. All right. So okay. So we come back to it. You are currently on the walkway. The door has just opened behind you. You are about 15 feet off the ground, climbing up a wall. You are about 25 feet off the ground, climbing towards the roof. You're about 5 feet away from the roof. Minsk is on the ground, kicking the shit out of a couple of guys.
There's 4 more coming to the door.
And that's where we start. And
No, don't worry, I remember.
we're gonna start with Chad.
Okay.
What are you doing?
So I heard the door opening behind me?
Yes,
or
you
I just
did.
heard commotion.
I mean, yelled
You
at me.
heard the commotion, and then you heard, "Hey, what are you doing?" Yeah.
Alright, so is there like
He yells back, "Your mom."
along the side?
No, there's not. It is open. That's why you tripped, probably. It's not very safe.
Okay.
OSHA would not be happy.
So I'm just gonna
That's an intruder.
low run towards the door, trying to keep like
Where's
the
my
mass of my
crossbow?
body low.
Okay, so you begin kind of dashing towards the where you think the bridge, or at least the access to the bridge must be. As you do that, you can kind of hear behind you, thwip, thwip, and just the noise of
Can I do a
something coming towards
reactionary
you.
as far as the deflect missiles?
Yeah, once I attack, yeah, totally. A 12, does that hit you?
Nope.
I got him in his ball.
And a 20.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Okay, so I think it lets you can subtract damage.
Your dexterity modifier plus your monk level. So when you do so, the damage is reduced by D10. Your dexterity modifier plus your.
You hot?
That's high.
Here's the hoodie.
Not as bad anymore.
So that's
It's a 7 skin.
It's like more than 20 damage. You just reduce it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you catch it.
Okay.
Because they rolled a 10
I
plus
think
14.
I can actually throw it back.
That takes
if you reduce the damage to 0, you catch the missile and it's small enough you can hold it in one hand. You have at least one hand free. I'll just catch it and just keep.
Okay, so one kind of passes by your head and just clatters, and that kind of cues you in that they're shooting at you. You kind of really quickly do like a 360 as you're running, like your momentum is still going completely forward.
Hunter
As you turn around, you whoop, and just throw it off to the side and catch that in the air. And you can kind of hear one of them is like, and so they kind of begin giving chase, but you've got a pretty commanding lead ahead of you. You haven't quite made it. You can see a door that's about 20 feet in the distance, and you can tell though it's a hatch that leads up. So it probably goes to.
So there's stairs going up or a ladder?
It's like a small like it's only like a couple stairs. It's like
Okay.
that. Go
So
to a
if I
hatch.
can get my momentum, can I like hit it with like my shoulder, like barge up inside?
With
of
your
it?
full movement, you're about 20 feet away from because your full movement's 100 feet, right? If you dash.
If I dash, yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got mobility. He's a monk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monks you can get up to like 200 feet of
Yeah,
movement.
that's a lot.
It's nuts.
You can move around the whole map.
So with your 100 feet of movement, you would have made it probably almost right to the door.
Straight up.
But you're not quite there close enough to open it yet.
All right, so I move all the way to the door and like I guess
You're kind of beginning to reach out to grab it. Okay. So we'll come to because he's lower. We'll go ahead. We'll just go around.
So I can see that the 4 guards are in the right at the base of the.
You're about 15 feet up, so your sphere still extends well to the ground, and above you, covering these guys. So actually, yeah, y'all don't see where you're going, but you figure it's towards the roof.
But there are guards right below me.
Yes, they're making their way through your darkness towards the noise that they hear.
I'm so happy I still have this.
Yeah, they're definitely below you. Yeah, you've only used one spell slot. So.
No, it's not a spell.
Yeah.
Where is it? I have a stroke of brilliance, and I pull out a particular feather. Rainy bells.
Yeah. That's funny. All right. I don't even know how much anchors weigh. Oh man! All right. Hold on. Okay, so you take the feather out of your pocket and you begin muttering towards it the words that you remember from before, from when you and Morthos were messing with it, and suddenly out of your hand a large ship anchor appears and begins falling towards the ground. And I mean, you're 15 feet up.
This makes like, wait a minute, what? Don't worry about it.
Now, y'all had that earlier a while back.
That was like at the start
That's
of
like
my
one of the
night.
first items you guys got.
Yeah.
Because it was like a freaking useless item.
Small feather. Yeah.
Alright.
It was a gimmick thing. It was to like prank people with. Pranks can be deadly.
60 pounds, and it tells me how much damage it does.
Don't forget, how
Okay.
far up are we?
15 feet up.
Terminal
So
velocity kicks in.
not for 15 feet.
Terminal velocity takes 7 feet. Look it up.
Does it really?
Yes.
Well, in D&D, they actually tell you how much damage per feet. So we'll say you get I need
the
1
real
D8
world.
from somebody.
Mythbusters this right
D8.
now.
Gravity on
That's
this planet
D10.
is a little different.
It's like a little.
That one.
Temporal. Sometimes it's heavy, sometimes it's not.
I can't believe you're passing up that
10,
road.
17. How much health damage?
You know where it's at.
I know where it's at.
And you know
Does
where
Morthos
that's
know that I'm immune to poison? Did we discuss this?
Okay,
It's
so
everything I
no,
can do.
you haven't told
My
anybody.
character.
so he would-
So the anchor crashes
Getting
down
there.
and it hits two of the guards that were trying to rush through the door to get to Minsk, and it makes this huge, loud noise that you guys hear but can't see. And it just, and two people are crushed underneath it, and they're just like, oh! And you can see broken limbs with bones sticking out.
So
They're not dead, but they're very, very hurt because it dealt 26 points of damage. So they got hurt bad.
It's nothing. I'm just.
But also, the door is
not
blocked by a big ass anchor.
I was going to ask
sweet.
that too.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so
I've been worried about Minsk this whole time.
Minsk can do some stuff real quick. Yep.
Is anybody alive outside?
So as you kind of do that, you can see Minsk in his maniacal, crazy way has dispatched one of the guards, and the other one is kind of like 5 feet away from him, like holding like a leg, like not looking good.
My leg.
And Minsk is kind of just looking around, but he can't see through the dark. And I don't think anybody is. Oh, you said you were going up.
Mm-hmm.
So he's looking around, and he still can't see very well. So
He said he's a ranger.
yeah.
I mean, wouldn't he have some kind of like echolocation or something?
And he rolled a 1.
Echolocation. That's bad.
So rangers.
What did you say? Up and
I'm heading topside.
heading topside.
Well, he could yell at me if he wanted to disperse my.
Okay, back to the where we were before, on top of the city. And he just starts.
crowd.
I'm gonna yell at him.
Okay, what do you yell as he's leaving?
Do you see him?
No, you can't.
I can't
You
see
can't see him. You just hear him,
Wait,
and that's
time
it.
out.
Well, I was on my
That's
turn.
the
I was
whole
about to.
How long does darkness last?
1 minute.
It's 10 rounds.
Yeah, it hasn't been nearly 10 rounds.
On my turn, I was gonna talk to him.
Him anyways.
Okay, so we'll say as he's running away, it is your turn.
Okay.
Because he rolled a 1 and he's kind of dumb.
I'm
So,
gonna jump up to the roof, to the top.
so you jump up to the roof. You're still within the cloud of darkness a little bit, but you can move to the side.
I'm gonna ask him. I'll say, I'm yelling, Miss, do you need a rope to get up?
And he just immediately goes like, "Oh, see, boo! I told you they were going to the roof." And he turns around and starts running towards you.
To the sound of his voice.
He sees him because he moved
Okay.
out of the sphere, and you're on top of the building. What do you do? So, do you try to get out of the darkness?
Yeah, I'm gonna move over.
Okay, so as he's looking off the building towards where you guys came from, you're looking around on top. You
Yeah,
can see it's mostly featureless. There, it's a roof. There is some roof access. It looks like there's a small guardhouse, but you can see there is a bridge. Roll a perception check. Crap all up.
Can't perceive anything.
You don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Does he need a
Don't
rope
you-
or no?
Are you halfling?
Would
If
it
you
help?
have like straw.
Okay, you can drop the rope to be
Yeah,
helpful.
what?
Yeah.
Love?
I'm gonna do that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you attach it. Do you want to? Well, no, she can reroll ones.
A one? Is that
One,
one?
yes,
that's
one.
a two.
One,
Okay.
yes, I'm
So close.
It's all right. Failures are more fun in my opinion. Anyway. You lower the rope down off the side. It's mostly concealed within darkness. You see the rope dangle down, which will help you in moving up. And I would guess if you've moved up to, you only have 25 feet of movement. You're 15 feet up, and you have to go 10 feet. You reach the top. You've made it to the top as well, so you're up there.
Mhm.
Do you release the darkness?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so you release the darkness. It goes away. Bishop. All right, so small hatch.
Before
You're
that-
reaching towards it.
Arrow.
Do I see like
Yeah.
Fine.
as I'm running up like in slow motion? Do I see like a lock or anything on the
Yeah.
side,
Nope.
My way, sorry.
Looks like it opens out.
like upwards?
Yeah.
So I could like shoulder rush it
Yeah.
into it
Thank
and jar it up. In,
Sure.
So I have to reach out.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna go for that.
Okay, roll an athletics check just to see if you damage the door. Now.
Yeah, if you damage the door, you can't barricade it. It's closed.
12.
You're good. All right, so you kind of, as you rush forward, you kind of shoulder charge the door, and it pops open, and you find yourself out on top of the roof, suddenly in open air with a small. You're inside of a small, like little hut thing, but you can see out the windows of the hut the harbor.
Do I see any type of? I mean, what do I see in this room?
Not a whole bunch of anything. There's like a chair to sit.
Do I
and
see
there's
the
like a
bridge
small
across?
notebook. Yeah, you see the bridge.
So glancing to first I turn.
Okay, so what do you do? So,
all right, so I slam through the door, and
so these guys are over here.
all right, so the door, I guess.
You're over here.
Is there any type of latch I can slide this Tombow through to keep it from coming up?
Yeah. Yeah, you could probably, there would be a handle on this side of the door because it would be impossible
Alright,
to open otherwise.
So I would slide the Tombow through to keep people from coming up from the other side.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
And then I'm going to look and see what I see around real quick.
Okay, so you look around and you see those guys on the edge of the roof. Jasmine is looking towards you.
Whiskey's
There's
ass is
no...
up in the air. She's
Yeah,
trying
Whiskey
to
is
pass
like
it.
literally helping Vince get up. Crypto has just reached the top. And that is what you see.
You say I saw a book?
There's like a small notepad.
Okay. Probably no time to read it though.
Tic-tac-toe.
You can grab it if you want.
I'll grab it.
All right, so you grab the notepad and
Just out of
stuff it in your pack, and as you do that, you kind of brush against the stick once more at your side, and then you also hear like the jingling of bottles in your pack. That's unusual. All right. Okay, so you're gonna have to. I have a hard time getting through that magical weapon to get to this roof. Yeah, you guys have.